All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in this evening. It was my goal to actually begin on time. So, just in case you don't know exactly who I am, my name is Ricardo Suber, and I am going to get into why we're so excited tonight. I want to thank everybody who decided to tune in from all over the country. And also, I understand we also have an international audience tonight as well. So, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in tonight. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and begin. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to first off introduce myself because I believe before discussing anything having to do with business, what you should also understand is the person that you're hearing from. So, just in case you've never seen me before, you don't know who I am, I'm going to introduce myself. Again, my name is Ricardo Suber. I'm a national director in this business that we're going to be talking about. And I understand that may not mean too much to you guys, which is okay. But let me give you a little sense of, I guess, who I am and where I'm from. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, by way of New York. And I grew up, I would say, had a very, very good family, very good upbringing. Both my parents worked very, very hard, and they raised me to also do the same thing. So I actually went through 4 years of college, graduated with a degree in computer science, and worked. I'm in corporate America, worked for a startup, then worked for one of the world's largest computer companies in the capacity of a software engineer. Did very well for myself for, I would say, about 7 years after I graduated college. And then I got hit. Literally, I got hit with being let go from my job and having to look for work. And it was, of course, a very traumatic experience, but at the same time, I was very grateful because at the time I did not have a family. And even though it was very tough on me, at least I didn't have to look into the eyes of a significant other or my children to let them know that, look, hey, daddy's without a job. We're going to have to go without. And so seeing the writing on the wall and realizing that I really didn't have my future in my hands, I was open to learning how I could finally take hold of my future rather than just have it in the hands of someone else who might be going through a merger or acquisition, or maybe someone else who's trying to save their job. Because I think we all realize that wherever we work, our boss is going to look out for his or her children before they look out for us. They're worried about putting food on their table before worrying about us. So I had to figure out, how am I going to put myself first? And I believe that everything happens for a reason. This is in the middle of 2011. In May of 2011, I was actually presented with this opportunity. Someone actually sent me a link to look at some information. And the only reason why I really took a look at it, not only was I open, but it was the caliber of this gentleman who actually gave this information to me. And so it made a lot of sense. I got started. It wasn't easy, but because I stuck to a system, within 9 months, I hit a notable rank in my company. And since then, we've gone on to earn major distinctions, grown a large team over much of the US, Canada, and very soon to be Asia and Latin America. And so I'm just so excited. But what I'm going to actually do is just share some information. And if it makes sense to you, I would say definitely get with the person who got you onto this webinar, whether it was myself or someone else who sent you a link. Get back with them, let them know of your interest level, and get started. So with all that being said, what I'm going to actually do is just speak through a few slides, tell you exactly what we're doing, and really give you a personal perspective in terms of how this could alter the course and direction of your life. That being said, this company is called Five Links, and now all we are is simply a direct selling telecommunications and technology company that's now also tapped into energy and wellness. And what we do is we empower anyone who becomes a representative to go out and acquire customers for these Fortune 100 and 500 companies. But see, the thing is, whenever you acquire a customer, how about every single month that those bills are paid, you can get paid on an ongoing basis. But not only that, we'll also teach you how to increase your method of distribution. So now, not only can you profit on the customers that you acquire, but you can also build a team. And whenever they acquire a customer, you also earn a percentage. And so what that means for so many of us, and what that meant for me, is when I looked at this, I said, wait a minute, these are things that I pay every 30 days, whether that be a light bill or a gas bill. And so how about you could not only help yourself save money on these services and make money every 30 days when you pay your own bill, but how about making that income every single month when people you've never even met pay their bills? So I'm going to explain that in a moment, but I want to at least give you a snapshot, a sneak preview as to what we're doing here. So the name of our company, again, is called 5 Links. Now, the 5 in 5 Links stands for 5 principles, which are vision, integrity, opportunity, freedom, and success. The company was founded in 2001, so we're not a startup. We're definitely established. The co-founders have a 60-plus year resume experience when it comes to direct sales. Now, over the past 9 consecutive years, you can actually see why we're so powerful. We've been actually featured in so many publications, not only NBC, ABC, CNBC. I've seen several news reports, Wall Street Journal, Yahoo News, so many different things. But one thing that we're very proud of is being featured in the sister publication of your Forbes and Fortune magazine, which is known as Inc. magazine. Every year, they take the top 1% of companies, of fastest growing companies all over the US, and they place them on a list. And we've been on this list for the past 9 consecutive years. From a legitimacy standpoint, this company is definitely highly ranked and highly lauded. Not only that, but also being an A-plus accredited business in the Better Business Bureau. On top of that, we have a 50,000 square foot world headquarters in Rochester, New York. And the motto of the company is that representatives come first. Now, prior to getting started in any network marketing company, I don't know about you, but there has to be a motivation. Why would you want to do something like this? Any of those reasons for you might be at this screen, such as having financial freedom, or how about becoming your own boss? Not having someone tell you where to go or when to take vacation to see your family. How about becoming debt-free, or saving for a children's college fund? Or how about giving back to charity? Those of us who are a part of our churches, our mosques, our synagogues. What if you could be a bigger blessing to those in need? Or how about just simply having more money? All right. Now, the bottom line is, whatever your why is, make it bigger than you. So when the inevitable resistance faces you, you have a reason to keep going. That being said, now this particular profession is known as direct sales. Now, prior to getting started in this profession, I knew about the NFL. I knew about the movie, and I knew about the music industry. But I knew I was not gifted on the field. I can't act, and I definitely cannot sing, okay? But see, the thing is, even though I understood these trends and I thought that they were bigger than life, even when you add up those three trends, they combine to be less than 25% of the direct sales industry. It's a $180 billion industry, okay? And it just grows year over year. Now, the reason why it's so powerful is because it relies on the model of word of mouth. So for instance, if you love a movie or if you love a restaurant, you're probably going to tell somebody. You're going to tell your significant other, your spouse, people that you know, even perhaps your neighbors, okay? So we all understand that. But see, what happens is we're always recommending products and services, but we never get paid for it. AMC Cinemas is not going to turn around and pay you for recommending a movie, nor are most restaurants. They're not going to pass along their commissions. But what direct sales simply does is it says, look, directly refer one of our products and services, and as a result, you'll get paid when people pay their bills. What I love about this company is that these are products and services that we all use every day. So the thing is, that's the marketplace, and that's why it's so exciting. So when you're looking at this sort of business, a lot of people are a little confused. They're looking at it like, okay, but is this one of those pyramid schemes? As a matter of fact, I thought that this business was illegitimate before I did my research. Okay, now I definitely consider myself someone who loves to do research. I'm always researching, always in the Better Business Bureau, looking online, looking in Google, trying to figure out what the credible sources are saying. And every source that I checked with respect to 5 Links, all right, it told me that this company checked out. As a matter of fact, I had the pleasure of knowing, and I have the pleasure of knowing someone who actually worked at Inc. magazine. And I actually asked her personally, have you ever heard of this business called Five Links? And at the time, we were in that publication, I believe, for 5, if not 6 consecutive years. And she said, yes, that company keeps appearing in our publication because they keep growing year over year. That in itself let me know that this business was legitimate. However, when you look at that figure on the far right, you notice a pyramid structure. But yet it says Fortune 500 company. Why is this so? Well, wherever you work, I guarantee there's probably one CEO, maybe 1 or 2 presidents, several vice presidents, directors, upper, middle, and lower level managers, and white and blue collar workers at the bottom. Now, I remember when I attended my first presentation as a new representative. Now, I was just hungry for opportunity, but this is something that I did not really comprehend. He was at the front of the room, and not only was he a Five Link senior vice president, which I didn't even know what that meant, but he also said that he was the #1 franchisee of one of the world's most successful restaurant brands. A restaurant that in order to become a franchisee, you would need about $2 million just to open up a single location, and he owned multiple locations. And what this gentleman said really blew me back. He described that structure that I'm showing you right here on the left-hand side of the screen. And he said, where do you sit on your corporate pyramid? And I took a step back. I said, whoa, because at the time, although I was unemployed just a few weeks earlier, I was working at one of the world's largest computer companies, but I was right down here. And then he asked the audience, how long have you been at that level? And I had to think about, well, over those past 7 years that I was in corporate America, I stayed right there. And so he talked about the glass ceiling. He talked about all the isms that plague corporate America and the fact that so many people rarely move up. And that's just become normal. All right, after 30 years, you don't expect to oust the CEO, and you're lucky if you even get a watch these days. But see, with Five Links, you actually start at the top of your organization. Yes, you are on a team, but whatever you build is your team. That's your organization. You're the CEO of your own company. And so what I love about this business is that it teaches you how to leverage your time and maximize your income. Now, I'm going to get into that in a moment, but the thing is, you're probably looking at this like, well, did I miss the opportunity? Did the timing come and go? No. The reason why is this. There's always wealth trends that come and go. Now, the biggest wealth trends over the past 30 years when it's come to technology have clearly been the PC industry, long distance, cellular phones, internet, digital phone service, and video apps, okay? We all know about this stuff. As a matter of fact, I guarantee that everybody watching this uses at least 3, if not all of these trends every single day. I guarantee that all of you own a PC, whether that be a laptop, a desktop, an iPad, or even a smartphone. They are all PCs because they do PC things. We have long distance. We don't even think about it as long distance anymore, but it used to be so expensive to make a call. But because of technology and deregulation, all right, it's now, we don't even think about it when we call across state lines. Cellular phones, internet, we all know about this stuff. We're consumers. But what if you knew about these trends prior to them taking hold? What if you knew about them and you found a way to invest? What Five Links has done, it has a genius business model because we find the next emerging wealth trends and we just simply place ourselves in front of these trends. So here's what that means for you. What if you could profit on energy as people are turning on their lights, cooking on a gas stove? What about mobile marketing? What about healthcare, especially these days? What if you could profit by helping people get well and stay well? And what about just overall wellness? People losing weight, feeling great, looking and feeling younger. So the thing is, what Five Links did was it said, let's make this simple. We have all these great products and services, but they all pretty much boil down to 3 categories. 3 divisions. The first division is our home division. Now, the thing is, we can allow anyone, all right, to save money on a home security bill. And guess what? You can get paid every single month they pay a bill. Same thing with home phone service. Same thing with internet, cable TV, fiber video. How about wireless phones? All right. How about satellite TV or identity theft protection? You can make money every single month People pay for these bills that they're already paying. And it's not like you've never heard of these companies. Have you ever heard of a company known as GE or a company known as Dish, DirecTV, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint? All these companies that we already pay, all these companies that we're loyal to. Well, what if now when you pay your bill, you're receiving some of that money back on all your bills? Okay, well, not only that, but our main flagship service in our home division is energy. This is a $500 billion energy industry. And what makes this so powerful is the fact that every living, breathing human being who lives in a home, all right, at least in the civilized part of the US, guess what? You're paying one of these bills. So what if you could put yourself on the accounts receivable side every single month, you or anybody who you know who gets the service from you, how about every single month you get paid? Now, what I love about this is that we also have these same products for businesses. So how many of you guys understand that when you walk into a business, they have many of these same bills? They pay energy bills, they pay healthcare, okay? They also, many of them have satellite TV, Dish or DirecTV. I know my favorite barbershop has these same services. How about payment solutions? Every time a credit card is swiped, imagine getting paid, guys. On top of that, business security. What if you can get paid when a business protects themselves? And they are, trust me. So the thing is, you have all these great products and services. As a matter of fact, I was personally blessed to have closed one of the largest commercial energy deals in the company. At the time, it was the largest, but I am so grateful that a gentleman recently closed a deal larger than mine. And that's great because that just means that the opportunity is still there. But on top of that, the largest, all right, and the main product in this particular division is text alerts. Now, we all know about the fact that we're getting these mobile coupons, we're being opted into these people's text lists, and many times we don't understand it. But a lot of these businesses, they're capitalizing, they're staying in better touch with their consumers. But now, guess what? You can offer this to your favorite business, your mom and pop, your local corner store, your CPA, whoever might need to stay in better touch with their customers. But now you can get paid as they're retaining their customer base. Okay, and if you want to see how it works, simply text the word 5 links to 55469. This is a $48 billion industry. But on top of that, you might be saying, okay, that sounds great. You get to get paid on people's bills. That's a wonderful thing. Getting paid when helping businesses stay in better contact with their customers. But the thing is, what is projected to take our company from nearly a $200 million annual business to over $1 billion over the next 4 to 5 years is something called wellness. Now, we all know what Obamacare is. Well, we all should. The fact of the matter is, if you do not have an Affordable Care Act approved health plan by the deadline, you are going to be penalized. So the thing is, what 5 Links has figured out how to do is how to make the process easier for people, yet put us in the driver's seat. So when someone gets a health plan through us, guess what? We now get paid. So we have something called Enhanced Care MD. It's helping the nearly 44 million uninsured Americans and so many more who are underinsured acquire health insurance. But not only that, we also have a built-in solution that also allows these individuals to have 24/7 access to doctors or nurses all around the clock. So on top of that, we have this great solution, but we also have these healthy products. The first one I love so much, it's called Montevita. It is a delicious coffee, and it contains 2 things that are very unique. The first is something called MCT oil, which assists with weight loss, appetite suppression, and the absorption of essential nutrients. And we also have something called Ramon seeds, which is actually a superfruit that's injected into the beans. It contains all those things that you see there, including protein, fiber, and minerals, powerful antioxidants, and all these vitamins, vitamins A, B, C, and E. So I'm telling you, this is like a vitamin in a cup. And so for me, I remember when we introduced this coffee a little over a year ago, and this coffee has gone on to do so well within our company. And see, here's what I had to understand. When we first went into wellness, and when we did it, we went into it with coffee. And so I was actually trying to figure out, well, what sort of angle did this wellness thing have with our 5 Links portfolio? And here's what I had to understand. Just like all of our other products, people are drinking coffee every single day. As a matter of fact, 84% of people worldwide drink coffee at least occasionally. And what I also had to understand is that, guess what? Coffee is the second most traded commodity behind oil. And it's the second most consumed beverage behind water. And so the thing is, many of you guys may know of a gentleman by the name of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the world's richest individuals, and he's one of the most foremost and respected investors. And he said, what you do should be your hobby, but what the world does should be your business. And ladies and gentlemen, the world is drinking coffee, and this is just yet another wealth trend that we tapped into. On top of that, we tapped into health and wellness. We tapped into the weight loss industry, a $571 billion industry. And I don't know about you guys, I've personally gone on diet plans, and I haven't found one that really hadn't worked too well until this one. And this is the reason why I think it works so well, because in our weight loss plan, in our fitness plan, in our plan to tone up, to gain muscle, to gain lean weight, no matter what you want to do, you can do it with this plan. Here's what makes it unique. It's a 3-part system that gives you the energy to go, it gives you the strength to do it, and it gives you the endurance to last. All right. So the first part of this is High Five Boost. It controls hunger and it provides an energy boost. We have High Five Lean, which is a delicious nutrient-filled shake with 25 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. And we have High Five Edge, which improves endurance. And the High Five Edge is so unique because it contains something that so many people are raving about. As a matter of fact, it's being talked about in Ivy League institutions. All right. If you were to Google search this word, this strange word in the middle of the stream called niacin, you'll realize that it's a vitamin. It's an enhanced version of niacin, and it's being studied. There are actually human clinical trials that have successfully passed, which is actually basically the green light in the medical field. Now, we actually had a deal with a company by the name of Chromadex. It was a $62 million agreement. And this was actually featured in the Wall Street Journal, actually also in Yahoo News. You can still look up the article. And the thing is that niacin has been shown and has now been proven to assist with all the bullet points you see at the bottom of the screen, including anti-aging, improving cardiovascular health, all right, helping performance, improving energy levels, and the protection against neurological diseases. In all the studies that they found that people are healing faster, they aren't feeling as much pain, and people are able to get through their workouts and then some. All right. As a matter of fact, my very own cousin who got on our 3-part system, we call it the High Five Challenge. All right. She got on this system and she herself shed 30 pounds. All right. So the thing is, this stuff works. As a matter of fact, you probably saw me skip over a slide. This is actually our newest product. It is actually an energy shot, which also contains niacin. So what if you could take an energy shot? What if you need a quick boost? Something quick, maybe something to keep you alert while you're driving, maybe something that will keep you alert while you're studying, right, students? All right. The bottom line is those other energy shots that are out there on the market, the problem is many of them have some serious side effects. They make your heart race. You get an irregular heartbeat. It could kill you. But this stuff, I'm telling you, it has a bunch of nutrients and it contains niacin. So this is great stuff. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to actually pause here and actually just bring this all into perspective. The fact of the matter is you can make money. Every single month people are paying their bills. Every single month businesses are paying their bills and make a percentage on that. Imagine a percentage just on a light bill from a skyscraper. I don't know about you. There's thousands of other great network marketing companies out there, but personally, I can't imagine what could pay you more than that. But then on top of that, we've also tapped into the health and wellness industry, which is probably the most lucrative profession that you could get into. So what if you could find a way to make people healthier and feel great? So the thing is, you might be saying to yourself, well, how do you actually get paid in this? How does it work? How does it affect your bank account? And how can you use this to transform your direction in life? So the thing is, what we do in this business called 5 Links is we just simply show you how to leverage your time and how to earn residual income. Leverage is something we already are familiar with, because wherever you're going into work tomorrow, chances are someone is leveraging your talents and abilities, and they're able to make money every time you punch in the clock. Every time you push a button on that keyboard or open the mail or maybe even head a meeting, you're making money for the CEO. But the thing is, when you leverage your time, you can now have others. Yes, you're going to have others in your organization, but guess what? As they're building their futures, you're also earning money by default. Every time a customer joins your customer base, you're earning a percentage on that. That's leverage. Now, residual income. That's the income of the wealthy, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not found a way to earn residual income, if you have to be in the room where your money is made, you can't be wealthy. I actually heard that from a very successful gentleman. But the thing is, in this business, you earn money just like Jay-Z when he records an album, or Beyonce or Frank Sinatra. When they record a record one time, every time it gets spun on the radio, all right, or every time someone buys that album, they get paid, even if they're asleep. They did the work one time, but they get paid repeatedly for that one-time effort. Well, here in 5Links, again, help someone save money on a bill, and they're going to pay that bill ongoing. I've acquired customers nearly 4 years ago that are still paying me today, and I only did the work one time. So the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, here's how it works. First thing we're going to show you how to do is to start to build a team. Now, when you're actually building a team, I want to be very careful as I say this, because many of you guys are still thinking skeptically, if that's a word. You guys are still skeptical. You guys aren't sure if this is legitimate, because you're saying to yourself, well, I think this might be a pyramid scheme, might be a Ponzi scheme, might be something that may not be legitimate. Let me just set the record straight. First off, we are highly regulated. We are an A+ Better Business Bureau rated company. We are not only in the Direct Selling Association, which governs all of our companies, including Mary Kay, Avon, Tupperware, all the companies that you're already very familiar with. We are on record as being not only an ethical company, but we're actually ranked in the top 100 of direct selling companies worldwide, and we have been since 2012. So here's what I want you guys to understand. The definition of an illegal company is actually a company where no customers exist. There's no product. There's no service. It's just making money off people. And that's not how this works. This works very similar to actually opening up your own franchise. If you were to open up a McDonald's and then open up another store in another city and you profited a percentage on all those customers, that's akin to, in our profession, where you personally introduce a business partner, they happen to be in another city or in another household. Every time they get a customer, you get an overriding percentage. It's the same principle. That's why they actually call what we do micro franchising. So in this business, you become a trainer. You actually get promoted when you get your minimum customer points. That's why it says 8CP. You get a few customers on your own, and then you help someone also get their customers. Once they do that, the company pays you a $50 bonus. Congratulations. It's almost as if you now own 2 restaurants. You own the one that you're in, and then you own someone else's, right? So that's the whole idea. Well, what if you do it again? What if you help someone else get started and get a few more customers on your own? Help them get their minimum customers. Now the company says, congratulations. You now get promoted to a position called executive trainer. What that simply means, ladies and gentlemen, is that what the company is going to do is they're going to now pay you every single month. You start to get used to the idea of residual income, because that $1,200 gets broken up into $100 increments. Every single month, you'll get $100 a month for your first year. What that does for you is that takes care of your overhead in this business. I don't know of a business owner, a traditional business owner, that has no overhead. Every traditional business owner has to pay a lease. They have to pay for lights. They have to pay for equipment every single month. But in this business, you could have that taken care of simply by building your business, and you can do this in your first 30 days. We've had people on our team do this in their first 2 days. All right? So if you've been doing the math, it's $1,250 simply by introducing 2 business partners who come in qualified with their minimum customers, and you also have 15 personal customer points. And notice I said points. Each service that we have is worth at least 1 point. Here's what that means. One person can be multiple customer points. I remember when I got started, I was 11 points in my own household. All right. After I spoke to my mother, that was like another 5 points. All right. I would have already been there. I actually got 21 points in my first 2 weeks because I helped 5 people cut costs in their services, things that they were paying for already. So I hope you guys like that concept. Here's why most people are really looking at this as a means to retire. And in fact, many of my friends have retired from their full-time jobs. This is how it works, guys. When you get started in this business, we are going to teach you how to build a team, each of which are going to have some customers. Some are going to have very few. Some are going to have a whole lot personally. Personally, I wouldn't say I got lucky, but I worked very hard. I personally have way over 20 customers. I personally have over 200 customers personally. We have people on our team who have 30, 40, 50 customer points. Okay? Some people have 0. So let's just say you have an average of 20 customers that 20 people have in your team, each of which are paying you out a commission value of 50 cents. Your commissions can go anywhere from 50 cents, they go up to $8, in some cases way above that for our commercial services, but let's lowball it to 50 cents. That would mean a monthly residual income for you and your family of $200 per month. Not a lot of money, right? You might be saying to yourself, did I get on this webinar for $200 measly per month? Some of you guys are saying, well, that's a lot of money because if it was missing from my paycheck on Friday, someone would get spoken to. Absolutely, right? But the thing is, that's not what we're in this business for. Okay? As a matter of fact, you could get that done relatively quickly. But even if that took you a year, it's still great money because this is residual, meaning that even if it's spent in April, it comes back in May. Even if it's spent in May, it comes back in June. It comes every single month. This is that never lift a finger money. This is that retirement money. This is that I'm going to call in well from work because you won't have to go if you continue to build this form of income. But see, here's what that means. If you have a team of 20 people, what happens if you have 200? Same 20 customer points, same little commission value, but now that's $2,000 per month. What would happen if to your lifestyle if you had an extra $2,000 hitting your bank account every 30 days, whether you got out of the bed or not? See, this is not, and if you're looking at this, light bulbs should be going off in your head. This is not about a paycheck. This is not about, you know, luxury cars, and I don't want to blow blow the blow where we're going with this presentation, but it's not about all of that stuff. This is about getting your life back. So the thing is, guys, if you could have this number just by having 200 people on your team, something that we've over and exceeded this number, what would happen if you have 2,000 people on your team, each of whom had 20 customer points with an average commission of 50 cents? What would happen to your life if you had an extra 20 grand hitting your bank account per month, whether you got out of the bed or not? And this is not a maybe theorize. I mean, come on, guys. We have multiple people in our business who are doing well and above these numbers, 3, 4, 5 times these numbers. We have people in this profession who are doing way more than this. As a matter of fact, there's people in our profession who are pulling in 6 and even 7 figures per month. Every single month, as people are paying their bills, you're getting an overriding percentage. 99% of them you never have met because they are customers that have come through people on your team. Many of them you would have never met. But as a result of you building a business, staying focused, within 3 to 5 years, especially 7 to 9 years, you become world class. And now you're making the money of a brain surgeon and beyond without having to go into work. And this is willable income. So if you're looking at this like, man, this makes a lot of sense. What does it take to get started in this? Well, guys, this is a business. Now, this is not for your Tom, Dick, and Harry who's just like, look, I just want to work a job, get paid, tell me what to do, and just pay me. All right? This is a business. A business is something that you're going to have to invest in. I don't care if you want to become a photographer, a model, a Pizza Hut owner, whatever it is, you're going to have to make some investments. Even by going to school, do you realize that to become a professional, you're going to have to invest nearly 6 figures to go to college? All right, I know that. I mean, tell that to my student loans. Okay, so many of us are dipping way in thousands upon thousands of dollars just to hopefully get a job that's not necessarily guaranteed to us. But then once we get that job, we're now taking years to pay back these student loans. This is a business that you could start for the cost of a nice bag or a pair of shoes, and this can free your family. So the thing is, there's two types of licenses that you can get into this business. Frankly, I don't spend too much time talking about the customer rep level because honestly, the yeses don't go all the way to the bottom, and you only earn income based on what you personally do. That means that if you happen to introduce or tell somebody how great this business is, they get started, they make $1 million, all you might get is a thank you card. You don't earn anything based on what they pull in. And to me, that sounds like another job. I prefer to get started at the money position. All right, as an IMR, you now earn overrides on everything that happens on your team. As a matter of fact, let's venture to say that when you get started in this business, just prepare to get launched for approximately $350. Okay, and I'll go into that in a minute, but just understand that part of that is your license. Okay, but you do have some associated overhead that's going to help you run your business. That being said, you might be saying to yourself, because on the previous slide, we had a line that said team bonuses. What's a team bonus? This is another form of income we get paid even as you're building your business. Very early, even as you're building it, you could earn substantial income. There's a gentleman that I know in this business. He actually earned 5 figures his first month. No, that's not typical, but yes, it is possible. Here's how we did it. When you first get started in this business, you become an executive trainer by introducing your first 2 business partners who come in with their minimum customer points. You're personally going to have 15 customer points. And mind you, we're going to show you how to do this. When you do that, you now have $1,250 coming to you over the next year. But the thing is, even after you've hit this level, you're now on the board already. You can also earn an additional $2,000 per month at that level based on the growth of your team. That means you're now earning income just based on the growth of your team. As your team increases, your income increases, even if you didn't personally do the work. Now, the thing is, help 2 other people get to this level, all right? Get 1 more person, yourself, and you become an executive director. As an executive director, all right, a position many of us have hit within 2 months, that's the goal. But guess what? As an executive director, that's up to $8 grand per month. Help 3 people get to this level, you become a national director. All right. As a national director, you get paid up to 15 grand per month. Okay. That was a position I was blessed to have hit in 9 months. And thanks to our team and our great training, we've helped people hit this in as quick as 4 months. Okay. But as a national director, just imagine that income. But then what happens if you progress from there? We're all getting prepared. We're all excited because at the next level of senior vice president, not only do you get up to $50,000 per month just in team bonuses, but then guess what? The company will also give you 5,000 stock options. Now, if any of you guys are versed in corporate America and understand what a stock option is, let me just paint a picture for you. What Google did prior to Google going public, they really couldn't afford to pay a lot of their employees in income and salary. So they paid a lot of their employees in stock options, everybody from the janitor all the way to the VP. And what happened was when the company went public, many of those people from the janitor all the way to the VP became instant millionaires and billionaires because Google went public. Well, what will the 5-link story be? Well, you won't know until you get to senior vice president, because those 5,000 stock options will allow you to have ownership in the company and will turn many of us into instant millionaires, okay? If we're not ones already. On top of that, you also have a BMW payment. The company will fund up to $800 per month for your silver and free BMW. The only catch is, yes, it has to be silver. But if you don't mind a silver and free BMW, the car is yours. You also get a bonus every time one of our wireless products are sold on the team. On top of that, you also get an annual vacation. All right. So guess what? Every year, the company will foot the bill and take you and a significant other to a beautiful destination. To commemorate the company's 10-year anniversary, they took all the senior vice presidents on a cruise around Italy, Spain, and France. Okay. On top of that, you also get an expense account to fund your business on a monthly basis. But guess what? On top of that, the company says, well, you know what? We're going to sweeten the pot. There's actually over 250 senior vice presidents in the company today. But what the company did was they said, well, you know what? Representatives come first. We now have a position called platinum. This is now a position where the game changes. This is a 7-figure earning position. On top of that, everybody at this position, you now are afforded a Bentley payment. That means the company will take the car note up to $4,000 a month on your Bentley, and it will give you the car. All right? Beautiful vehicle. If you look at how much a Bentley is worth, you're talking literally a house on wheels, about $300,000. The company is already giving close to 32 of these away or so. On top of that, you get 5,000 additional stock option shares. You're also privy to the platinum bonus pool. What's a platinum bonus pool, you might be saying? Well, what the company does is every single month, it sets aside a portion of its profits based on the growth of the company. And at the end of the year, as a thank you, they split what's in that pool with everybody who's achieved the position of platinum. So if you were a platinum in the year of 2014, that would have meant in January of 2015, you would have split about $2 million with just a few other individuals, which would have meant that you would have had a check of about 6 figures just to pay off your holiday bills. How many of you wouldn't mind a bonus check of 6 figures? Let alone 6 figures for the entire year, okay? But that's just a bonus check. So imagine earning and being in the top 1% of income earners in the US, just based off your bonus check. On top of that, you also get a world vacation. Last year, they took all the platinum senior vice presidents to Greece and Turkey on a Mediterranean cruise. And this year, they take all the platinums to Dubai, okay? Beautiful. But then on top of that, there is so much success. The company recently created a new position called Diamond. Oop, and then before I even get to Diamond, there is that platinum pool. And those are just some of the individuals that split that money. I'm telling you guys, it is powerful. But what happens at the Diamond position is that they now give you a $300,000 bonus just for hitting that position, and then an additional $10,000 a month for life. All right, definitely powerful, guys. So if you're saying to yourself, well, look, how much support do I get in this? You have access to local, regional, and international training events. I guarantee in any major city, and even cities that aren't so major, there are local events taking place every single week. All right. There are also regional events that take place 3 times a year, and they take place simultaneously in about 20 different cities. On top of that, we have an international event that takes place 3 times a year. Our next one actually takes place in San Antonio, Texas in May. So you have access to all of that. You also have your own personal website. So anytime someone wants to save money on any one of their products and services, they want to get healthier or wealthier, well, guess what? All you need to do is send them a link to your website, and whatever they get, you get paid. On top of that, you also have 5 Links University. You get to do this business in the comfort of your own home, albeit 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 12 at night, doesn't matter when it is, you get to do your training. And then on top of that, you have business reporting where you get to actually track your business. On top of that, whoever sponsors you into this business, they're going to look out for you. They're going to be your eyes and your ears, and they're going to be your navigator. So just imagine you sitting in a brand new Bentley, all right? We are your state-of-the-art navigation system, and we're going to show you exactly where to go. It's up to you how fast you want to get there, and it will be our responsibility to make sure that you do get there, so long as you stay plugged in and you keep your nose to the grindstone. That being said, guys, this is actually one of the gentlemen who is very formidable to my success in this awesome and incredible company. This gentleman really needs no introduction, but his name is Larod Smalls. He was actually one of the individuals who really got me to see the vision of this company. And this is just an example of the ongoing support that we get in this organization. Many of the people that he's talking to in that crowd, they are executives in this business. There are several national directors in that crowd. Yet, this gentleman who is now very close to the platinum position as a senior vice president, he is pouring into us all the time, showing us exactly what we need to do in this business. And I guarantee that you'd be hard pressed to find an individual who won't really put themselves out there to really help you get to that next level. And this gentleman is the epitome of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to look at this from the standpoint of, well, is this a real opportunity? Is this an opportunity for me? I'm telling you it is. And so what I'm saying to you is that there's always three types of people who see this presentation. And I guarantee, wherever we do a presentation, there's always one of these three. First person says, I'm in. Sign me up. I say to you, immediately get back with the person who brought you onto this webinar. Whoever sent you this link, get back with them. Find out how to get started ASAP. Okay? That being said, person number two says, well, you know what? I like it, but I have questions. Well, if you have questions, we have answers. So again, get back with the person who shared this information with you, and we are going to make sure we get all of your questions answered. Person number three says, not for me. If this is not for you, my answer to you is the same as it's always been, which is God bless you. This is not for everybody, okay? But if this is not for you, at least think enough of the person who saw the diamond in you and become a customer, all right? These are products and services we're paying every day. Our health and wellness products are awesome. So why not give them a try? Try out a service, and then you're going to be helping someone else's business by default. But if this is not for you, I just want to make sure it's not for one of these four reasons, because I've only seen four reasons why people don't do this business. Either they didn't understand it, they don't believe it, they don't have enough time, or they feel like they don't have enough money. And I'm going to address all four of those points very briefly. First person says, I don't believe it. That's the easiest. Simply do your research. Better Business Bureau, Inc. Magazine, DSA.org. I mean, the list goes on. Simply do your research. As a matter of fact, if you point your web browser to getofftheratwheel.com, you can actually see it right there at the top of the screen. If you go to that website, there is a long list of documentation that you'll be able to find to do your own independent research. All right? So let's get that out the way. Second person says, well, you know what? I didn't understand it. Let that be the least of your concerns. All right? I guarantee that wherever you work right now, you can remember a time when you were brand new. You didn't even know where the break room was, but I guarantee you cashed that check after training. Did you not? And I bet you, and I guarantee that wherever you work right now, you probably still work with people who are still there and they still don't know what they're doing, yet they're still getting paid. This is also a learn while you earn business. So learn how to do it, and we're going to show you the way. Person number three says, well, you know what? I don't have enough time. I'm already overextended. And now here's what I want to say to you guys humbly. If you feel like you don't have enough time, let me just actually give you a story. There's actually a gentleman that I know very close and dear to me in this business. And prior to getting started in this business, he worked 80 to 100 hours a week. He and his wife were like ships passing in the night. They barely got to greet each other when they came home or left for work. Their marriage was suffering, and he was just looking for a way out. He was looking for a better way, and that's when this opportunity was presented to him. And so he said, he could have easily just said, I don't have enough time. And he really could have used that excuse. If you work 100 hours a week, 7 days a week, you don't have time, okay? You have very little time. But what he said was, if I can just find a way to make this business work, this business could actually free up my time. Well, what did he do? He got started anyway. Even though he was busy and had no time, he found a little time. And he just asked, how could I incorporate this? Because he made the decision that his life wasn't going to be like that forever. He knew that he had to find a way to retire himself from his job. He actually used to drive a bus for the DC metro area. But guess what? Within 18 months, he was able to retire himself from a salary that it took him 18 years to build as a bus driver. And he started to earn that income. He retired himself off the bus. Within a couple of years, he retired his wife. And now each of them only do this business on a part-time basis. They're multimillionaires, and they've started up a charitable foundation that has garnered many awards, including the Steve Harvey Hoodie Awards for 2 consecutive years. And that's all because of this business. So if you say that you don't have enough time, I would say don't use that excuse unless you work over, I would say, 120 hours a week. But then it's even for you to find a way to get rid of all those extra obligations and find a way to live a better life. Person number 4 says, well, you know what? Money's an issue. To you, I humbly say, you got to find a way to do it. Because if money is an issue for you today, was it an issue for you a year ago? It probably was. Was it an issue for you 5 years ago? It probably was. So what are you going to do today to make sure it's not an issue a year from now, 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What's your vision for your future? Do you foresee yourself living on the beaches of the world? Or does it scare you to think that maybe a year from now you're going to be in the same spot? Sometimes we have to do above and beyond in order to get what we never had. Sometimes we just have to find a way. I've known people who sold things. They'll max out a credit card. They'll ask the credit card company, please raise my limit. They'll do what it takes in order to get themselves on the next level. So I implore you, if you just don't want to be in the same spot, you just have to find a way to do it. It all just comes down to a decision. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking the time to look at this presentation. But those of you guys who do see an opportunity, I'm going to actually just quickly run through what we run through with all brand new representatives when they get started in this business. And it's very simple. We actually call this a quick start because it's literally quick. Just a few simple steps that we do in your first 30 days. Now, even before I get there, these two gentlemen that I'm standing with, that's me on the left, this gentleman in the middle, and this gentleman on the right-hand side, they're cousins. They each got started in this business a little over 5-6 years ago. And the gentleman in the middle recently just hit the platinum position. All right. And the gentleman on the right-hand side just hit the senior vice president position. This was us actually sharing the stage at a presentation right here in my area in upstate New York not too long ago. And so it just reminds me how real this business is. People that I actually know personally who are getting it done. On top of that, this is actually yours truly. Someone who initially was just skeptical. Someone who wasn't sure that this was going to work. Someone who didn't get his ED bonus, okay? I barely got my ET bonus. I was nervous. I've had my ups. I've had my downs. But we still got it done. Being in the top 1% of customer earners in this company. Earning numerous awards. Hitting the Soaring Eagle Award. Guys, it's possible. On top of that, we have a corporate infrastructure that supports us so much. This young lady has done so much for me. She's done so much for our team, and she does so much for the company. And having so many people like her mean the world. On top of that, we even have guest speakers at our events, including Eric Thomas, who actually says, according to a study, only 1 out of 3 people consider themselves happy. I need you to be the one. So the thing is, guys, when are you going to decide to put yourself first? I know that, at least for me, I can't speak for you, but at least for me, I know that where I worked, I didn't put myself first. It was always the boss who came first. It was always the job that came first. If I needed to spend time with my family, I had to think about my job before I did that. I had to think about the boss before I did that. Because if I thought of myself first, then they would let me go. And they let me go anyway, even though I always put them first. How many of us are just tired of putting that job first every day? How many of us are just tired of waking up, going to bed when it's dark, waking up when it's dark? Like it's ridiculous. What if we could just live on the beaches of the world? So I don't know what your answer is going to be, but this was my answer. So the thing is, we have a large supportive team. This is just some of us. This is just the few of us that we could get in the picture frame. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, this business is so powerful because you have a support system that's going to help you through all the good times and, of course, the bad times. So that being said, here's the way that we start you off in this business. All right, we have 2 objectives. We help people save money and we help people make money. When we help people save money, they become customers. And when we help people make money, they become business partners. It's that simple. That being said, when you get started in this business, remember that slide where we show you how to make that initial $50? Well, in order to make that money and in order to become commissionable in this business, you must first acquire a service out of the green box and acquire a product out of the blue box. You can get it for yourself. Someone else can get it for you or from you. But when that's done, now you are qualified to begin to earn commissions. Okay? That being said, remember that we have these 3 divisions: home, business, and wellness. So Even if you didn't want to sell all the products and services, just pick your favorite couple, pick your favorite one. We have someone on the team who is just the coffee queen. She's just selling coffee left and right. I don't think she's touching anything else, and that's okay. Whereas we have other people on the team who are general practitioners. They sell a little bit of everything, and there's nothing wrong. Whatever approach you like, we can help you with that approach. That being said, remember, first goal, hit trainer, just by introducing one business partner and you guys both getting qualified. All right, help someone else, hit the executive, help someone else get started, and you hit the executive trainer position, which yields a $1,200 bonus. And then just by helping two other individuals hit the ET position, getting one more person for yourself, that'll yield an additional $500 bonus. Okay, so this is the slide that a lot of people pay attention to, because again, in your team bonuses at each position, you're talking about earning up to $2 grand per month as just an executive trainer, up to $8 grand a month as an executive director, up to 15 grand a month as a national director, and up to 50 grand a month as a senior vice president. And mind you, a lot of this is just leveraged income. You aren't personally doing all the work on your own. And even if you're not, you're still getting paid. On top of that, guys, here's the last slide of this entire presentation. You're going to make a list. When you get started with us, you're going to make a list as long as you possibly can of everybody that you know. They actually say the average person at least 21 years of age knows 2,000 people, at least on a first name basis. I know when I got started, I couldn't think of 20 people until I opened up my phone, until my upline sponsor actually said, well, what about the people you used to work with? What about the people who cut your hair? What about the people that you used to date? I mean, I was able to pick up names left and right, especially once my sponsor said, well, look, act like every name that you put down is going to give you $100. Then my list became very long. I started calling my mother, asking her, who does she know? Okay. But the thing is, we're going to show you how to make a list. And then you're going to meet with your upline executive in your first 24 to 48 hours, and we're going to show you how to rock this thing. We're going to show you how to go from where you are exactly to where you want to be. And the decision in terms of how fast you want to get there is up to that beautiful person in the mirror. So here's what I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, as we actually close off this presentation. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this particular webinar. Thank you so much for everybody, all of our partners, all of our guests who are tuned in. Again, get back with the person who got you onto this webinar and ask them how to get started. Once again, this is Ricardo Suber, courtesy of getofftheratwheel.com. Make sure you go there to get any information if you want to do your research, etc. And again, we look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world. And if you don't like the beach, we'll see you at the bank. Take care. God bless. This is Ricardo Suber, and this webinar is officially over. Good night.